this was another one that I know you saw and kind of alerted us to. Number of prime seasons remaining among certified good players by age and position. So it looks like quarterbacks can keep playing forever. As our producer said, Tom Brady is kind of skewing that number. But the thing that's interesting, look at running backs, rather. You get to 30, 31 for a running back, that's a struggle. The interesting thing, so the shelf life on wide receivers is a little bit longer as well. And it's important to note, Jack, and I know you will realize this, Andrew Berry is very cognizant of ages, contracts, and it factors into some of the guys. They look at that with the players they will draft in the draft as well as their age, how old they are, because by the time you get to the second contract, you want those guys still in the prime of their as far as the age goes.
Yeah, if you're drafting a guy on day 1 or day 2 of the draft, you're looking at 8 to 10 years because you want that commitment that they're not just going to have 4 good years on their rookie deal. You want them for a second contract. So you've got to be really cognizant of how old they are, because if you draft a guy that's 24 and say the cliff starts at 30, well, you've got 6 years. Draft him when he's 21, well, you've got 9 years. And so that is a really, really big factor. And then if we look at roughly what they draft, if we're looking at players' age week 1 of the season, players they've taken day 1 or 2, 6 out of the 7 have been 22 or under on week 1 of the season when they were drafted. Jordan Elliott's the exception there. If we look at day 3, add on an extra half a year just because they're able to go slightly more flexible when you get to day 3 of the draft. But 22 and a half, 6 out of the 8 were under that. And that is Demetric Felton and Richard LeCount, who are the only 2 guys over that. So really focus in on age of draft prospects. They might make some odd exception, but that is a really, really important thing to this front office, because they're not interested in let's go all in for 2 years and then who cares what happens to the franchise. These guys want to create sustained success for the next 5 and 10 years. And that comes through all sorts of decisions, starting with how old are the players you're drafting, because there's no point drafting a guy for 6 years if you've got a 10-year aim for being competitive for all of those 10 years.